20 years ago, this man was attacked by an unknown animal.
You know, I looked up and this thing came charging at me, 7 foot tall, big blue skin.
Many people know about Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, but few know about Long Island's Big Blue Brute.
I think this fucker might be nuclear.
This is Monster Search. Hello, I'm Arthur Kensworth, and welcome to another edition of Monster Search. Today we explore the Big Blue Brute of Long Island, Suffolk County. Bob Kleiber, a local high school student, has claimed that years ago, when he was in high school, he was attacked by the Blue Brute. The year was 1988, and Bob was leaving a friend's house after doing massive amounts of cocaine and marijuana.
I went to the car and pulled out my keys, and then all of a sudden I had this overwhelming sense that something was wrong. I had this feeling that I wasn't alone. And then I heard something in the woods. You know, I looked up and this thing came charging at me, 7 foot tall, big blue skin. It was like the strength of a Mack truck. It was the most terrifying night of my life. You know, I thought the monster actually smelled like shit, but I didn't realize it. I was so freaked out I shit my pants. I tell you, I just got my senses back at the time. I realized that if I didn't get the hell out of there, my life might be over, so I just took off.
And what do you think it was that attacked you that night?
I tell you, I honestly think it was something that was not of this world. It was definitely an extraterrestrial.
And why do you say that?
I spent my whole life on this island and I've never seen anything like this before. It had to be an alien.
Bob is not alone in seeing the monster. For over 20 years there have been reported sightings, but strangely enough the monster has only appeared in Suffolk County. In these parts, the Big Blue Brute is so popular that if you ask anybody, they know exactly who he is. Oh, sir. Can you come over and can I ask you a question about the Big Blue Brute?
What the fuck do you want?
What a colourful fellow you are. Do you mind if I ask you several questions of the Big Blue Brute?
Big Brute? He's more of American than you are. I'm sick of you foreign fucks. Why don't you go back to where you came from and leave the Big Blue Brute alone?
So I just wanted to ask you some questions about...
Get the fuck out of here before you get hurt, Mary. And you camera fag too. You get out of here before you get fucking cut. Most people know about Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, but few people know about Long Island's Big Blue Brute.
Here we have Trevor Goodwin, who claims to be the expert on the Big Brute, which is a known, or should I say mystery, among Suffolk County on Long Island here.
Most people don't see the monster. He normally lives in the wilderness of the beautiful Suffolk County that we enjoy. So that's probably why that, when he only comes out, he comes out for food.
And what does he eat?
You know, birds, fish, people.
People?
Yeah, people.
Can you tell us what he has killed? Or can
No.
you show us?
No, I cannot show you.
Trevor thinks that Isola Beach is where the monster makes his home. While Trevor's only seen the creature twice, he has found other evidence to support his claim. Trevor, we need to be honest with each other. You actually want me to believe that this is the feces of the beast?
I can assure you this is the creature shit.
Well, it's simply remarkable. I've never seen anything of the sort.
Well, I see it out here all the time.
It's amazing. It has no smell whatsoever.
Well, because of that, I've been able to sell it to the local restaurants. It's becoming quite the delicacy.
Indeed.
I think this fucker might be nuclear.
Dr. Gill is the world's greatest scientist. He's a master in biology, nuclear science, and phrenology. He graduated from Yale University in 1911. In 1921, he discovered nuclear physics and began research into the possibility that DNA exists. In 1960, he won the Nobel Peace Prize for his research into nuclear weapons. The stew was taken to his secret laboratory where it was tested and found to have high levels of radiation. Big Blue might be nuclear. The results of a horrible experiment gone wrong. Dr. Go knows what he has to do.
I think this monster is a threat to humanity and we have to kill it.
Bob disagrees.
I think it's just plain stupid to call this thing a product of a nuclear accident. There are no nuclear facilities here on Long Island. Unless this is a government conspiracy to basically put fear in people, to control us, to pacify us.
But if Big Blue is part of a government cock-sucking conspiracy, then how do you explain this latest discovery?
This is obviously native to our planet.
How can you be so sure?
I've seen it lay the eggs before.
But this hole looks like somebody dug it out with their hand. Look, there's a shovel right here. How can you explain that?
Well, look, let me explain. Big Blue's a pretty smart, intelligent creature, right? It obviously stole the shovel from someone and dug the whole stuff with the eggs.
Oh, and what about the eggs? How can you explain that? It looks like something you bought in the grocery. It even has the manufacturer's stamp on it.
Anyone can put these stamps on an egg. I use the stamps and the numbers to track the beast and see how many eggs it's put out in the wild.
How can this be real? There's no serial. There's nothing to indicate this actually came from an actual beast.
Well, look, I swear this is how it works. I mean, look, there it is.
Where?
What? Over there.
Where?
Look,
And while some people want to lie about the monster, there are others who just simply want to love it.
Big Blue is a gentle creature. He wants to love and be loved.
And how do you know this, might I ask?
He's my boyfriend.
Explain further.
Because he's been coming to my window almost every night for the last 9 months.
He actually walks up to your window.
He taps on it. At first I was afraid, but then I realized I was just lonely.
And what did he do?
He reminded me to how great it is to be a woman.
Using this information without her knowledge, Dr. Gale has set up a trap for Big Blue in her backyard.
These cameras are rigged to a motion control system. If anything moves in the backyard, it picks it up instantly.
To ensure that he gets his evidence of the monster, Dr. Gale is hiding waiting to kill it. While many people would say wanting to kill an unknown species is cruel, Dr. Gale justifies it in the name of science.
Of course, to dissect would be a gold mine, pursue knowledge of ourselves and our plans.
After a few minutes, Dr. Gale has become very impatient.
I suspect that the monster is not human. I'm going to try and communicate with him in the way apes do over long distances. I'm going to repeatedly hit the tree as hard as I can. We're violating his territory, so he'll come to find us.
Piece of shit! Get the hell out of my house!
Unfortunately, we were kicked out of the backyard after being discovered, and we were forced to continue this stakeout here in the front. And lucky for us, my hidden cameras have not been discovered by that old hag.
I see something.
Where?
Out there.
It appears we have a madman on our hands. Holy mothers of God, did he get it? Ah! Oh heavens! Oh heavens! Oh! What is that? Oh heavens! Oh! What is that? What is that? I'm not really sure what that was. It might have been the Big Blue, or it might have been a deer. But regardless, based on hearing Mr. Gill scream like that, whatever it is, I'm not getting out of the car to see what it is until the morning. Well, it looks like we survived the night, so why don't we get out and take a look and see what happened? Well, it looks like we could figure out what exactly happened to Dr. Go based off the blood spatters all over his shirt. It looks as if his head was ripped right off, and it wasn't with a knife, it was bitten off, ripped right off of the shoulders. Kind of reminds me of the Eugene Toombs murders in 1993 in Oregon. Well, unfortunately, there isn't enough evidence to really figure out who killed Dr. Go. Could have been the Big Blue Brute, or it could have been simply just a deer in the wilderness. It's not something we're ever going to know. But let's see what our cameras might have picked up that we actually did not see. Well, it doesn't seem that it actually picked up a thing. Oh well. Well, based on our investigations and further research, we've come to the conclusion that we cannot predict whether or not the Big Blue Brute's existence is actually fictitious or not. But we will tell you this. There is something going on in Suffolk County. It could be the Big Blue Brute. It could be a foreign animal. We will not know. This is Alden for Kensington, signing off.
He was big. He was blue. And he was a brute!
I'm gonna cut your throat!